Welcome everyone to another episode of the George.Daniel podcast. I am your host, George.Daniel. And before we get to our lovely guests, I do want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Liquid Death. You can go ahead and get that at www.liquiddeath.com or your local convenience stores, Safeway, 7-Eleven, all that good jazz. But yeah, Matt, how was your weekend?
That's chill, bro.
Yeah.
Just worked a little bit. And
Yeah.
editing.
Before everything, I want to say thank you and sorry for hitting you up at 11 p.m.
Oh, it's all good.
I just want to let everyone know what time it is. But we just played JCB, aka Jacob, and we have Ashely, his wonderful wife, baby mama, whatever you want to call her. Whatever you want to call her.
A beautiful wife and mother.
A mother of their child. Beautiful baby boy.
Yes.
Yes. Forrest.
Yes. And yeah, like this one's gonna be really fun. We literally just played in San Jose. It was my first time going to the patio, aka La Pura, which is a mariscos fucking place where like I've gone with like my narquillo friends, and it's like all like mariscos and micheladas with the fucking shrimp in them and all that shit, which is amazing, dude. I had some empanadas from there, which were gas. But we just played there. You played the literal sunset set.
Yeah, pretty much. It was great. It's beautiful. The whole time I felt like I was just looking at.
I mean, not for nothing. I think it was kind of poetic to see my ginger friend playing the ginger, or I mean, not the ginger set, but you know what I mean.
The ginger playing over the ginger sky.
Dude, it was beautiful. It was poetic and it was awesome. And like, yeah, it was crazy because the first time I saw you play was at Noite. And that set, you didn't have headphones.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I hella forgot him.
Dude, that was
crazy.
but,
He went off though.
But like he still went off. You know?
I had a pretty good set. I was like, fuck. I was like, I can't believe I did that. And I was drunk because Fern, he gave me like 3 shots before, and I had 2 cocktails before that.
That was fun.
Dude, he played at like 10 o'clock. This fool is wild.
11.
But
so there's like even more people
11.
there.
It was 11.
I was like, oh my God, there's more people
which
there.
is crazy because this is the father, as we mentioned, right? And also, like, and so speaking of the father, the mother is here and she takes photos. She's out here. She's shaking and grooving. She's out here creating the vibe while the DJs are up, which is also just as important. You know what I mean? Because in a lot of ways, like, we as DJs were like, we're gonna bring friends, but those friends are kind of losers.
I love my homies.
but you know what I mean. They're like they're gonna sit in their corner. They're gonna do their shit, you know, which is okay because they're our friends.
Yeah,
but
showing up.
they're not supposed to be. They don't have the Beyonce mentality. You know what I mean? They're like, and that's okay. That's totally fine. With that said, like you bring so much energy and a different perspective because you also take photos. You know what I mean? So you also like are adding to the event, which is so important. And you're doing it for like with your heart. You're not getting paid for it.
With all you guys, no, I
but
don't
you're
get
not
paid
getting
for
paid.
it.
You know, like you're not getting paid for it. You're just doing this because you care.
Because it's fun. And it's fun to be out with everybody.
Capturing all those moments.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And like, which is the same way with me, right? So like, I'll sometimes show up to these shows with a disposable camera,
which is so
I know.
awesome.
I love the photos that you got.
Yeah, and like those are like, and that's like a fun thing. And it adds a different like element to like who I think I am. You know what I mean? So like I don't need to be the person on stage, but it's nice to be like a person of that moment, even if I'm not in the photo.
It's the thing to like capture what you see. You know, like anybody could be like, oh, your photos are so good to like other people. But when I'm capturing something, I'm seeing like, yeah, not all my people are in frame, but I'm getting that moment and I like it.
Yeah.
Right.
I might not share that with everyone.
Which is, okay, once again, this is going to be a fun one. We've been out and about for a number of hours.
Yeah.
But what I was saying last episode of being like, like this is a moment, right? So if I ask you to be a part of it and you don't show up, type shit, I'm like, oh, like, you know, it's like that's to me it feels like catching a blurry photo or my finger on the flash or like X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? It's like to me it feels like, oh, I fucked up in some way.
Yes, I feel that.
You know what I mean? And that's like a snapshot. You know, this is just a moment. That's all it is. So it doesn't matter, but it's still public. So it matters. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like a weird position to be in, you know, because like again, this is a photo. We're not gonna do this again the same way that we're doing it right now. It's a moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's so cool that you, as you know, like someone who's trying to either help and or create your own thing, like you have your own avenue, while alongside someone who's trying to create their own avenue. And with that said, you guys as a beautiful fucking family that you are, we were talking earlier, like how do you guys like, you guys are also really young, right? And this is me being like, I have commitment issues. I have all this other shit, you know, blah, blah, blah. But like, how do you guys manage to like do it? Like, you know, like for real.
We just have fun.
Yeah, we have a really good support system too in our family, so we're allowed to do that.
Shout out to
Did you guys?
mom.
Okay, question.
And Michelle.
Did you guys grow up with both parents together?
No.
Oh, that's interesting.
Jacob grew up with his mom, and I grew up with my dad.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a dad
That's
raising
actually
two daughters on his own? Dude.
That's so, dude. Honestly, ask Matt. Like, I've literally I've been like, oh, I'll be okay being a single dad raising a daughter.
My friends,
you know what I mean?
That's
like trippy. That to me is just like to me, I'm like, I'd be okay being a girl dad. I don't know if I can be a guy dad. You know what I mean? Like to me, like I'm not a guy's guy. I'm not gonna tell you how to like shave. I don't grow hair. I don't know how to like tell you how to hold a hammer. Like I'm dumb. Like I'll teach you how to hold a nail gun.
Yeah.
You know? But that's just like a point and shoot.
Yeah.
It's a point and shoot, you know? Yeah, which is also very dangerous.
That's the reason why there's the fucking word gun in it. So
yeah, that's very
just
true.
Makes me
Yeah.
nervous. So
But like that's so interesting, and I want to touch base on that, but mostly because I have some sort of like connection with the single mom type aspect. Yeah. Did you grow up with siblings?
No. Okay, so my dad was in the picture part until like I was like 3 or something like that, and then I only met my sisters because my dad passed away when I was like 12. So that was like a blessing.
Oh my God. What? Oh my God.
Not that. The sisters. We love them.
Yeah. I knew they were there, but I never met them before.
Right.
That event occurring allowed me to meet them. We had this thing that happened. Yeah. And now I love them.
Yeah.
Right.
They all have kids of their own too.
Do you consider them your sisters or your half sisters?
I mean, my sisters, but I mean,
it's
if you want
just
to put
a question.
A name on it.
No, it's a question because with the whole sister thing, right? My sister, I grew up being a single child until I was 4. You know, and then next thing my sister showed up, and she's my sister. To me, she's my sister, but she's my half sister. Yeah. You know, we don't have the same dad. Yeah. But like literally, I don't know how to explain it to people when I say like my mom said this. My mom said we need to be at this time, and they were like, "Do you guys not have the same mom?" And it's like, "No, we have the same mom, but that's my mom. That's my mom."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, we're you know, so that's why I ask mostly Hispanics this, because it's only like to me it's maybe it's also a language thing, or it's like mi ma, like you know, like we don't say like ma dijo, you know, because that doesn't make sense language wise. Yeah. And that's the first time I said it out loud, which is really, which is really weird, noticing that like now. But like, yeah, that's like, it's something that white kids or American kids, don't understand, where like, yeah, like I've been on the phone and been like, mi ma dijo like, da, 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 and they're like, me and ma, I know those words. Yeah. Why did you say my mom? versus just mom, you know? But with you guys also have a child together. You guys are raising him, Forrest. Shout out Forrest. You guys can follow him here. No. But he, like, with you guys, right? He's growing up in San Jose. And I'm gonna mostly say he in this conversation because I want you guys to like start maybe like thinking, like hearing it out loud, right? You know, because we're at that age where some of our friends have kids, some of our friends don't. But in a year or two, when people are listening to this, you know, they'll understand this.
Yes.
But like he's growing up in San Jose, and like, how do you guys kind of like determine like what school he goes to, like what birthday parties he goes to, who he hangs out with, what sports he does, and like all this other stuff. Like, you know, as a parent, especially at our age, we're 20 something, 30 something, you know, like, and let's like, that's the time, you know,
so
that's
weird.
it's such a weird time.
So weird to still say that.
To me, it's like, you know, when you're in 7th grade and you have friends who are in 8th grade, and you're like, oh shit, you guys are adults.
You guys are cool.
But you know what I mean? Like, you guys fucking made it. Whatever that means. Dude, literally all you did was just not die for a year. You know? Like, so like, but like with you guys have brought a life, which is so much more stressful. But with you guys, like, how do you guys determine all that?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
It's always looking.
And maybe this is like such a weird question to ask, like parents. And like, I don't know what to do, dude. I'm going to my first like real wedding in October. You know, like fun. You know, like I don't know what I'm doing. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, I think it's just all through like personal experience. I kind of want him to go to my elementary school because I had a good experience there. It's a
but
good
you grew up here.
Yeah.
You grew up here, and you grew up.
I grew up here and in Morgan Hill, so I'm like, oh, let's take him. I want him to go to PA Walsh. I had great teachers, you know.
Yeah, I work in Morgan Hill too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It makes sense, but I mean, Willow Glen's fucking cool.
We're always looking at good schools. Jacob looks more often than not. He's like, oh yeah, I was passing by the school. It's really nice the other day.
Yeah.
He's like 9 months.
I mean, but like it's something that like, you know, like the same way I look at my friends who talk about like Republicans and Democrats, but I'm like, you don't have a child. You don't have anything to look into the future for past you.
That's a big thing.
I don't care what you have to say. The same way me as a dumbass guy who has a podcast and starts talking and shit, I'm like, yeah, but I don't have a child, you know? Like, I know once I like have something that is way more important than I have ever done or will do, like, what the fuck why am I talking, you know? But so that's interesting that you guys like are like, I mean, obviously I guess you guys kind of have to have those discussions.
All the time.
If I mean, he's not gonna listen to this until maybe he's like 5. So
we're like, sit down, Forrest. You're gonna watch us say.
Well, he's gonna find it on YouTube or whatever the fuck this is called in 5 years, you know. Like, but like if he searches you guys up, if you tell him you're a DJ, you do all this stuff by 5, like they're gonna have the internet, you know. But like, if you guys had any like if you guys were to choose like whether he was a sports kid or like a artsy fartsy type of person, and artsy fartsy meaning like music and or art or and or theater, you know, like where would you guys want your child to be, or like, you know, like
all of it. Let's do
all of it. That's
no,
cool.
it's honestly maybe it's gonna be up to his friends, because I kind of talked to this with a coworker, so kind of based on what friends he makes, like we can show him these things, but I mean, he's gonna know it as like, oh, my parents showed me this, but friends aren't into this. But I mean, it's not ultimately up to him, because I had friends that weren't really into what I was into. Like middle school, I was like DJing already. And like,
what were you DJing in?
Like old shit. So like, so it was at my cousin's birthday, and my other cousin brought his stuff to just play like records, like Linkin Park or like Limp Bizkit or something like that. And I saw that and I was like, that shit looks cool. So I went to go play with the mixer. It was like an old like Newmark mixer or something like that.
Right.
And like weird stock sound effects and everything. So I kind of just messed with that. And then when I turned 13, I got a Newmark set. It's like one of those very beginner sets with a 2-channel mixer. And you play vinyl on it. You just got to buy vinyl. So I just used my cousin's vinyl.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. So,
that's crazy to think. Dude, that's... Okay, how old are you?
I'm 29.
So you're 3 years older than me, right? Yeah. Which, like, if I was 3 years older, in Mountain View, we had something called, like, Rasputin.
I love Rasputin.
We have Rasputin over
We still go there.
Right.
Still buy records.
So we had Rasputin, and if I was 3 years older, I think I would have been, like, way more into records. But I grew up in LimeWire age.
Yes.
Yeah, we did too. We love LimeWire.
MP3 Rocket.
Yeah, all that shit. Like YouTube to MP3, whatever the fuck, right? All that shit. And yeah, like I wish I learned the fundamentals of being a DJ on record before trying to do all this shit. Cause once again, like I said, the first time that I saw you DJ was without headphones.
Yeah.
You know, like I said. And that's just either you knowing the track or you being able to see your markers really well.
Yeah.
You know?
Some of my key points didn't even go on there too. So I just had to like kind of wing it a little bit because I don't know.
I heard no discrepancies though. I was like, oh fuck, where have his headphones?
Right. You know, like no one said anything. You're like Gordo, you know? Where the fuck are his headphones? He plays 3 hours and he doesn't have a single fucking headphone. I'm like, okay. Like, are we supposed to pretend that the hot girls around you don't understand what a sync button is? But I love you, Gordo. We love you. We love you, Carney.
He plays Dem too. I'm so glad he supports like people from the Bay. Like,
for sure. He's definitely doing a lot of stuff for the Latin House for sure, which is awesome. But like. With you guys, right? I don't know why. I'm like, maybe it's because I met you guys like this. But I see you guys as like a unit, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So like and with that said, like I see you guys as like a business, right? Like obviously
I will throw the shows.
Yeah.
And this would be your act, right? So like
honestly, Jacob, we've talked about it many times. He doesn't even always want to be on the
No.
He wants to put a lot of girls on there because there's not a big scene for women DJs.
For sure.
In San Jose. So there's that. And then he wants to put people on the platform, you know?
Yeah. But I will say one thing. It's easier to book girls as a female than it is as a dude.
It is.
So
it is, and I experienced
that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's hard for me to book
That's
guys.
why a lot of construction businesses, all the men work on the field and all the women work in the office.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
All I'm saying. It's easier to have a relatable face than a dude to tell you anything. And that's the honest truth.
I get that.
But with that said, like I like the dynamic, right? The dynamic of you two. Like, I don't know. When I see you guys at like events and stuff, you know, like it doesn't, you guys feel like partners, right? But you guys don't feel like a new relationship, right? We're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're like, people are like, why are you over there? Why aren't you with me? You know, like you guys are doing your own thing, but no, like, hey, how you doing? Do you need water? Do you need this? Do you know? All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. All right,
you know, I feel so bad about that.
But that's cool.
We'll go to like all these raves, right?
Right.
We go to Midway all the time. Jacob would be standing there, and our friend would be like, "Oh, where's Ashely at?" Oh, I don't know. She went inside somewhere. I'm like I wake up in the morning and I've got like all these different Instagrams. I'm like making too many friends with everybody.
That's cool. That comes with being a unit, a family, of whatever, you know, like that's and to me as like a dumb 20-something, you know, like it's I wanna learn from you guys, right? Because a lot of it is. Yes, it's feeling, right? Like, I still love this person. I can love someone as much as I want, but if I don't know how to work with someone, then it's not going to work.
That takes so much practice.
Exactly.
It really takes a lot
of practice. And that's with me.
Mad at each other.
That's with me with a lot of my relationships in general, right? Friends, even family, girlfriends. To me, it's just timing, right? Yeah. It's timing. And in a lot of ways, like, if you've been in my life, even if there's been 2 years of separation and then all of a sudden we came back, but it was the same as how we were. To me, those 2 years we're still 2 years that we were friends.
That's growth.
Right.
That's where the
because
growth
like even
comes
with
in.
like me and Matt, right? Like I quit or I got fired, but but when I left Phil's,
it's okay.
Yeah,
I want to say we've all been, but I don't think you have.
Fired? No, I have not.
We're gonna say we've all been.
yeah. But, you
I've
know,
left on a bad note, but not fired.
okay. That's way different. That's way different. Yeah. But
I still feel bad for some reason, but I was like,
but that's the good person and good employee that you are, right?
guess so,
To me,
yeah.
I was like, you know, like all this shit, and I'm like, blah blah blah. But like with me and Matt, like he like we didn't talk for like 2 years, 3 years, maybe, you know, and like.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden this brought us together, but it's been the same dynamic for the most part. I think it's even been better because we as him being a shift lead, he probably had some resentment as me as an employee, just being like running amok, just like, you know what I mean? Like, and like I feel that. But now that it's like a 50-50 dynamic, if he says like, hey dude, I'm not gonna be able to finish this episode, I'm like, I don't care. Like, okay, like that's fine. Take as long as you need. I don't care.
That's all. Bye.
Yeah. And like, and if that's the case, then like, I hope you tell me, you know what I mean? But just like, yeah, like it's that like dynamic of like 50-50 type shit. And that's the longevity of it, you know.
Yeah.
Like I have friends who like I don't talk to, like Alana. Shout out to Alana. Like I haven't seen her in like 2-3 years also, but I know when I see her, it's gonna be love, you know. And with you guys were talking about high school. You guys were talking about all this shit.
Oh yeah.
Right. So like, how like you guys have known each other for how long?
we met in 2009. I'm pretty sure it was 2009, like where we met. Well, maybe 2000.
No, 2009. We met in 2009.
We got together in 2009, I know that,
Yeah.
but when we actually met each other,
I don't know. It's been 14,
it could have been
15
2008,
years.
2009.
That's gross, but also
It's
amazing.
cute. Okay.
Oh, it's so
Okay.
cute. Like, and like,
Don't fuck with
They're
me.
hating.
I'm
Hating
so
over there. I
jaded.
know,
I'm
you're
so jaded, dude. Oh man, yeah. But I love that. I love that so much that I hate it. Do you know what I mean? Like you know when you want something so much, and then you're just like, why can't I have that? You know, that's what it becomes. But dude, that's awesome because like I don't know too many people who I like still, like, or love still. I would say love. I like a lot of people who I've known since 2009.
Yeah.
But love?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a different fucking conversation. You know, I love my mom. I love my sister. You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, after that, I'm like, I like a lot of you other people. You know what I mean? And yeah, so you guys were like, what, in
Freshman year.
high school? Which is also such a like pivotal moment for a lot everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're like finding yourself and you're doing all this stuff. So for you guys to like have known each other and then maybe I don't know when you guys got together in 2009.
Yeah.
And dude, that's crazy. Oh my god.
Sophomore-
Saying that out loud. Sophomore year.
It's great.
Oh my god, that's crazy. But that's like
Oh my god, sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
I always think of it as freshman. Freshman year to sophomore year. Like freshman, you're like fucking not there.
But,
you're
like,
like,
that's
what am I
so-
doing?
dude,
Yeah.
being together with your high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
Like honestly, outside of our grandparents, right? When like they were
Yeah.
expected to die at 60. Like
Yeah.
like that's crazy, right? Like dude, that's awesome. I'm so jealous because
great
like
journey.
honestly, like
Great
the girl
journey.
who I was with in high school, I don't know what she's doing now. You know, like that's the
Sometimes
difference.
that's good. Sometimes that's great.
Oh, she has a kid. I didn't know what she's doing, but I don't care. Love you, Megan. But like literally, like okay, so with what you guys are doing, right? Like with your artistry, I guess, versus who you guys like want to be, right? I feel like every artist is a person, but not every person is an artist, right? And like the difference of like how do you manage that, right? Because you're not going to be artsy fartsy dad who knows every song and just spin on records with your child, right?
Yeah.
Man,
at the
I
end
don't
of
know
the day,
about that one because I swear any song that I mention, I'm like, I'll be like, you know, and he's like, oh, it's this song.
okay, so you married Shazam.
Basically.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm too artsy fartsy. I know people. I don't know. There's just like those music concerts. Today I watched Nardwar.
Oh, I love him.
And I watched the one where he interviews Questlove, and Questlove is he's like royalty in hip hop because he's been around for a long time, and man, he's like a connoisseur of like where hip hop started into where it's now. And he's a legend, so it's like I don't know. I'm not that artsy fartsy. I just go through a lot of music daily, and
But I feel like, you know how like Questlove and Pharrell are like artsy fartsy, and then there's like Kanye and Tyler.
Yeah.
Where they kind of have like things come to them versus someone who like goes out and looks for them. And also maybe I'm talking out of terms because I'm sure Tyler looks for his own shit. I'm sure.
Dude, Kanye's going to come at you.
But also Kanye employs people, you know, like he has people like funneling new music from like Tokyo, India, all this other shit, right?
Yeah.
Like he's a business, you know?
Yeah, like
The same-
Diplo. Diplo will get like
Exactly.
he'll get like random USBs thrown at him. He'll just go through
Yeah.
all of it and try to find new stuff.
Dang.
He knows.
Hey.
Hello. What? Hello?
Yo.
Are you here?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it? Okay, I'll be right up. All right. We have a special guest coming, guys.
Intermission. One.
How long have we been working? Welcome, everyone. After this lovely break, we have a new special guest. Shout out Ignaz. I have a mix out with DNA Radio, which is what he hosts. So go check that out. I don't know what we're at, but it's not like amazing numbers. But go check that out. It's a sick ass mix, dude. Honestly,
It's a
sick ass mix.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't say that I worked hard on it, but it's an amazing mix. But Ignaz, how we doing? We just played a set.
Super good.
Yeah. All right. So as you can tell, we're all not sober.
Completely sober.
And literally, honest, it was my first time playing at the patio, aka La Pura, right? In San Jose. If you ever had like mariscos and banda all at the same time, you probably were there. And it's such a vibe. Like honestly, like it was so weird. It was so weird. It felt like playing at like our friend's backyard or some shit, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
It's great.
You know what I mean? Because it's like it's
Intimate.
like,
I love intimacy.
well, it's like intimate, but also like it's San Jose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
That's
it's literally our backyard.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like Story Road. Like if you didn't go to fucking Pueblo right down the street, if you
Or
didn't hit
go
up
to
that Jack in the Box,
Yeah, yeah. Everything we say tonight.
dude, like literally, like it's such a trip. I didn't like we all have these like intimate stories from this one place, but it was like so cool. Like it's Pride weekend, so like all of our homies are out there, like all of our like homies, right? We're out there, and it was cool to see like
The turnout.
the turnout for sure the turnout by the end, like dude, it was crazy. It was like to me I was like, oh okay, like even I was telling you guys in perspective of like a club bar like a Noite, right? Like if you have 15 people at somewhere where we were, to have it's the equivalent of having like 30 to 40 people at a club, right?
Yeah.
And
Feels good.
the amount and the amount of times that you have 30 and 40 or 40 people at one of those clubs is almost slim to none. You know what I mean? Like if you really, really think about it, you know? So it was like, it was cool to see it, especially at the weekend that it is. It's fucking, we're in San Jose, they're in San Francisco. You know, if I'm going to be 1,000%, like it would be tight to be in San Francisco. You know what I mean? Like it would be fun. Like we could be at Dolores Park. It would have been at Union Square. You know, we would have seen dicks flopping around, you know, all that shit. You know,
Everybody turn.
you know, it would have been fun. But like yeah, like I said, we had mariscos, we had fucking micheladas with candy in it.
Oh my god,
we had,
so good.
like it was so San Jose. We had people selling flowers and candies and like knickknacks, you know, just
Super
whatever.
East side.
It was
Super
just like
East side.
the most East Side experience that I've had as a DJ.
Yeah, I
But
can't believe they went up to you and offered you while you were like
while I was
this shit.
mixing, right? And I was like,
They're on the grind, man.
Yeah. Like I don't
They're on the
I don't really
fucking
need this
grind,
right now.
man. Like, oh, it's fucking DJ.
But Ignas, as you as like the host, right? How like this is your second event there.
Yeah.
The first time that you had it, you had Wes also on there. Shout out Wes. And like for you, right? Like you're also throwing shows at the end up via the DNA radio.
Yeah.
So like how are you kind of like managing that? Because you're an individual. It's not like I don't feel like you have a team. You know?
No, not yet, but I am building one. JCB's helping me out. For Ensure, Shadow for Ensure. Shadow Play, they're helping me out little by little. I reached out to them because I feel like if you want to do something good, you can't do it alone.
Yeah.
You can't. So I reached out to them, and we're little by little we're like building it, and I think it's going good. I have high expectations, right? Because I'm hard on myself, but I mean, you were there. You saw at first it was like empty. But after you were like, where did the people come from? And it was fun. It was like, when I was playing, I was like, damn, it's cool playing at home, which is San Jose, and you're like playing house music.
Right.
People are enjoying it. It feels amazing.
Well, like to me, right? Like I started in San Francisco. To me, that's not home, right?
Yeah.
So like it's hard for me to bring my homies out to San Francisco.
Yeah, no.
But for you to start out in San Jose where it's home base and bring out your homies, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that's the difference that I've seen anyways, right? Like I personally like I'm a local act, but I didn't start out local. If that makes like it wasn't
Fair,
like I wasn't you know like the 415 isn't the same as fucking 650.
Yeah.
Like it's not, you know, it's completely different. You know, I had Google, you guys had fucking the Bay Bridge.
Yeah.
You know, like you know, like it's just different.
Yeah. Different, man.
And it's like a different mentality and different aspect and a different view in life and everything. But like with you guys, like I saw you guys kind of start as a like here. I met you guys here.
Yeah.
I've seen you've luckily have come out and to one of my shows out in San Francisco, which is really cool. But yeah, it was just it's been like seeing you guys like grow and doing everything has been really cool. But yeah, like where do you guys kind of see yourselves in like a year or two, or where would you guys like to be?
Oh shit, man. As a group,
Go
man.
For it.
I mean, it'd be cool to see get into bigger clubs. I was telling Ashely that I set a goal within like a year to play at Noite, because I was like, oh, that seems like a pretty cool club upstairs.
We did it the next month.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
I told him, I was like, just tell me where you want to DJ.
Yeah.
We're gonna walk around and we're gonna do that.
Yeah, exactly. So we got there, and then what was the other place? I don't know.
We want to do Rec Room. We want to
do Rec Room.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll get there.
I like Rec Room.
That's
Yeah,
nice, right?
Rec Room's
Yeah.
cool. I've never been inside, but I see the parties on Instagram. They look sick,
Yeah.
man.
I've been there. Or like at least in the top, because it's like the top floor as well.
Oh, okay.
But they have like house music parties outside.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I see them playing like they have really good DJs over there.
Is Rec Room the same as Record Bar?
No. Record Bar's in San Francisco. This one's in San Jose.
Oh, okay. Bad.
Yeah, they play more like hip hop and everything. I don't know.
Oh,
Record Bar
okay.
plays hip-hop,
Is that the
but-
one that San Jose Fools did? What's his name? Fucking
Chris?
A-Track?
Oh,
yeah.
A-Track?
In
No,
the
that
back-
was Good Cult. That was Good Cult.
Good Cult.
Yeah.
Same thing. They're the same thing.
Are they? Oh.
Same thing.
Yeah,
It's all done by Jorge and,
Oh, is it? Okay,
and
I
friends.
had no idea.
Also, Jorge. But you know, hey, whatever. But yeah, he's a guy.
Okay.
That guy.
Yeah. But with that said, I guess we're more local than the people doing San Jose Fools. And like, how do you guys kind of like?
I know. So we want to do like.
So with that said, like, knowing that you guys don't have, let's say, the equity that someone who is from LA like has, right, to build something that is really dope, and I'm not negating any of that from like what he brings and what that honestly Instagram page does, like outside of that, like how do you guys feel that you guys are kind of like bringing a little bit of like San Jose or the South Peninsula or a little bit of you into your shows, whether that's you with photography, whether that's like us in our music, or you throwing events and you trying to throw events, right, and starting to do that. Like, how do you feel like, oh, okay, what, like we were saying earlier, like bringing more females in, right, which is like something that I've been kind of thinking about, and like if no, oh, dude, everything is like kind of shots now because I work with everyone. It's kind of, it sucks. But like, I played a show for the LGBTQ community, and it's a benefit for them. But there was no females on the lineup. There was no queer DJs on the lineup, and I was just like I'm probably the.
We already finished it.
You know what I mean? And that's, you know, I was just like, oh, you know, like, what are we doing? Which is like, okay, like, you know, but like, I'm just like, all right, well, like, we're not even thinking about the event anymore. We're just trying to fill up a lineup. And like, how do you guys do you guys think about those things? Do you guys like, even with you with shots, right? Like, it's a moment, like we were talking about earlier. It's a moment. We're trying to capture a moment. Whether that's us and the DJs and the artists that we bring onto a lineup, or that's you with an actual photo, or that's Matt with this actual podcast, right?
Yeah.
It's a moment.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, because I just started out with photography. I mean, I've done a quinceañera.
Yeah.
Way back in the day.
I DJ that one.
Yeah, he
Really
did DJ that.
Damn,
back
that's
in the
probably
day.
Played a lot of people. A lot of people.
That's stressful.
But like, it's more so you want to bring people and you want to throw a party, so you want to have like the decorations up and things like that, and like you want to bring the right kind of people.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great. They set the vibe, man. Like,
Yeah, setting the vibe.
hey,
Yeah.
That's
Which is what like I was telling you guys earlier, right? Like, even when he's on stage, you know, on the decks, whatever you want to say it, you know, but like you're still like setting a precedent or a precedent.
Precedent.
Right? Precedent.
Yeah.
Like running around, taking photos, shaking hands, making sure that's my boyfriend, you know, like being like, that's, you know,
Baby daddy.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you know what I mean? But like, like it's like, no matter what, like on stage and off stage, just someone running around, making sure that they're a part of it. And like we were talking about earlier, it's a community thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm not the person who's going to be running around shaking hands. I'm not. That's not who I
want to make sure everybody's having a good time.
Yeah.
But that's also comes from the motherly aspect of like that family thing, right? Versus me, I'm just like selfish in a lot of ways where I'm like, who are you guys? Who are you? Who are you? Right? And it's also like a dick swinging contest of like whose dick is bigger, who can mix the best, who has the best tracks, who has the most people dancing, you know, who brought the most people. Like that's what it comes down
that
to.
goes on in my mind too.
But that, for you as a photographer, it's like, who pays me the most? How many or what artists do I get to shoot?
Okay.
And you know, and like
who's bringing their friends? Like who's coming out here to have a good time?
for sure.
Yeah.
But you as a photographer are probably less required to bring people than the artist, right? You are supposed to make sure to capture it. You're supposed to make sure that there's more people, not bring people.
No, me as the promoter.
Oh, for sure. But as I'm thinking as a photographer,
yes.
it's like if your job isn't to bring people. Yours is to make sure that the 3 people look like 6. Mm-hmm. You know, and like that's your job.
This is true. Yeah.
You know, where for us is we can have 12 people sitting at the bar, but as long as we have 3 people dancing, it looks more vibrant.
Yeah.
And then hopefully the next person who plays in the next slot has 6 people, you know? And like that's our job. And then so like that's I don't know. That's yeah. But with you right now, how did you even like think about doing it on historic Story Road in San Jose?
Well,
Like-
my brother started working there, and then I came to the place. I saw the spot. They were doing a good job in the patio, and then I don't know. It just reminded me of like I don't know, patio party, like when they party outside. Like the plants,
party.
I don't know if you saw. You were there. The plants.
I don't know if you saw it. You were there.
the umbrellas, everything.
Yeah.
It just seems like a good spot to play house music.
Yeah.
For me, so I was like, hey,
Well,
give us a shot.
My favorite part, honestly, it was like I feel like, especially during our 3 sets. Well, I wasn't there for the first one, so you know, but people were honking.
Yeah.
From the road, you know what I mean?
I love that.
And it's like it's people going home.
Yeah.
You know it's people going home.
That wish
You know,
they stopped to go
like,
there.
and I think most of them were like pickup trucks. You know,
Yeah.
so like all these like construction workers, all these painters, all these fucking like. Or tios or dads, you know, just fucking honking and being like, "Yo, like, yeah, like, where the party at?" You know, they're looking for the next bag. But you know, like it's crazy. But yeah, that's like it's so much fun. But also, like to kind of like zoom out a little bit. How do you guys kind of plan bringing in that local vibe to your guys' like shows when and if we get bigger, right? For me, it would be like bringing on bigger guests. But for you guys, it would either be shooting for bigger artists or bringing on bigger artists. Same with you guys. Or for us, technically, would be like dropping a song. So what are the next steps that you guys kind of see? Because, I mean, we've had an interview earlier, but you also didn't talk.
I just like that.
He's a fun guy.
But like, do you plan on like putting out music, or I mean, you're doing like I guess technically you're doing everything behind the scenes to help everyone, but putting your own name out there, right?
Yeah.
It's DNA Radio presented by, you know, it's the patio presented by, it's the end up presented by, you know,
Yeah.
like these
Well,
are all
I
things
mean,
that you do.
It's hard to like you said, bring bigger names to San Jose because you always have San Francisco out there. It's like I don't know, it's like a monster, and you're like a little kid.
For
And
sure.
You have to like compete, but at the same time, you don't compete because like it's different people. But we know that people from San Jose travel to San Francisco to like the big events.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's hard, but I mean, we all love a challenge. I love a challenge, and I feel like there's people here that love house music and
For sure.
that are willing to be
And
here.
here's like my argument to people who like are like, well, like why am I gonna play in San Jose versus San Francisco? Real Ignorant is bringing Will Clark to San Jose,
tomorrow.
and
Oh
then
my
the
God.
next fucking weekend he's playing in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So it's just like for you to think that like the same artist or someone who is Will Clark. It's Will Clark, you know, like
and
like-
Foley's gonna
oh
be
yeah,
there,
and
too.
Foley. Shout out Foley. We love you. Like we've already talked about you last week. Shut up. Like you know, but like it's one of those things where it's just like San Jose is a 1 million person city.
Yeah, man. Growing,
There's a market for everything, anything, dude. Peso Pluma. Did you see the
That
price?
was
my
wild.
The thing that tripped me out the most was not the ticket prices for Peso Pluma, because La Banda Recodo was also on that lineup. And to me, dude, that's both of my hearts. My old school fucking like what I grew up on versus that new shit where it's like, all right, let's fucking do a line and fucking go dance, you know? That's Peso Pluma. And I'm like, all right, let's fucking go. But like it was like like seeing the parking prices were $60 in San Jose. And I'm like, $60. That means like our influence, right? But like that's on the Mexican banda corrido side or whatever you want to call it. And then, but there is also this other market of like the EDM side, right? The Asian and white kids from San Jose State have this locked in market, but it's all like mainstream shit, you know, that we don't play.
Yeah.
We like to play that.
But to me, I think if we learn how to bridge the gap, right? Yeah. If we can bring the Bad Bunnies and the fucking, you know, wax motifs together, and all of a sudden bring those together, you know, it's like, oh, okay, like we can, you know, like do this thing. And there's more like of us who are willing to bridge the gap than there is people who are like, I only like Peso Pluma, or I only like Zed's Dead, you know, like, and it's one of those things where it's like, I'm okay with both of those things as long as they're together, you know, like I want to listen to Drake, but I also like house beats. I want to, you know, like. It's one of
like a mashup, like oh my god,
sure.
That's how I started with like DJing. I listened to a lot of mashups.
Yeah,
like the 6 Mix series on Live 105 in like the early 2000s. They had this guy called Party Ben, and they had a segment called Subsonic. So they played all electronic music, and but they had a 6 Mix. It was 30 minutes, and it was all mashups of rock and rap. And you just bring those together. You bring two people together.
It's different worlds.
Dude, Linkin Park and Jay-Z.
Yeah,
Hell
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dude, like,
exactly.
like it just takes, like, the shitty part is that it takes a big artist, right, to like bridge the gap.
Yeah.
Like Bad Bunny does have a banda song, like he does, but he's like doing his stuff. He's not doing banda, and that's okay. The same way that like I'm okay with Jay-Z rapping, you know, on top of rock beats. It still sounds fire.
Yeah,
you know?
There's some fire fucking mashups out there.
Like, and that's fine. Like, dude, I grew up listening to like Travis Barker, like doing hip hop shit, and it's just him on the drums. It's not no lyrics, nothing. You know, he did
I remember watching those
he did
videos.
like all these other things. You know, and I'm like, oh shit, like this is tight. Like you can do different while doing the same for other people, if that makes sense. You know,
exactly. Like Questlove, he's a drummer.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's doing for fucking The Roots. Like The Roots is amazing.
Right.
I love it when a rap artist can sound good with a live band, and it's just some, because I feel like it's kind of grabbing from the roots of like jazz and shit too. So
For sure.
they bring that jazz.
it's that spoken word shit. That's what rap is. It's spoken word.
Exactly. It's
you know?
poetry.
Like
It's amazing.
I read this statistic where it was rap has more words with multi-syllables being 3 or more than any other genre. So that means that rappers, whether that's Lil Baby or someone Tyler, you know, they're using multi-syllable words where someone from country or pop or like all these other art or like genres aren't
Keep
using
the
because
same
it doesn't hit the same, you know. Immortal Technique is insane, you know, like and like listening to like Black Star and listening like going back to like 90s shit. It's boom bap and it's very like it's very simple, but it's also like once you listen to like the words, it's very meticulous.
Yeah,
like every word has a purpose.
Double entendres, triple entendres, quadruple entendres.
It's crazy, you know. Like when Lil Wayne said, "Better wear latex before you hear latex." Like, dude, like literally, I was like, "Oh shit, I need to cover up." I haven't. Sorry, mom. But, you know, we also don't have kids. You know, we're doing. I'm not with my high school sweetheart. You know, so there's that difference. But yeah, fucking that like the differences between genres, right? Like with you guys, did you guys grow up? You grew up a little bit with a lot of it,
man.
But with
a lot of shit.
with you two, did you guys grow up listening to what you spin now or what you enjoy now?
Kinda. Daft Punk. Like Daft Punk was Daft Punk.
Right.
That's house music. That's that French like disco house. So I kind of grew up with that. I mean, like I said, the 6 Mix series too, the Subsonic, mashups, the DJs, and then like I kind of I was in the rock scene. I fucking love Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, and then like the rap, like Cypress Hill or fucking like all these like crazy rappers, Ice Cube. It doesn't matter. Like, I just, love everything.
Right.
And I love it when they come together. It's amazing. So I don't know. I just listen to a lot of different stuff because I don't only spin house. I'll spin like future beats, which is like Kate Trinata stuff.
Right.
Like edits of like R&B and like remixes and everything. So I'm just here for it all. I love music.
Yeah.
Music.
Dude, honestly,
music's
that's the thing.
But with you two, did you guys grow up? Like, what music did you guys grow up with listening to? Punk music.
Oh, I listen to a lot of like New Order, The Misfits, like all kinds of random ass stuff.
Yeah.
But it was so weird marrying Jacob because he listens to so much like hip hop, and I was like, oh, shit, like I'm not gonna fit in. I just listen to all this punk music. I got the scene girl haircut.
Yeah.
But we went to go see No Doubt.
Yes, and that
was our first concert together, and that was
No Doubt was so cool.
It was like 2010 or something like that.
God, yeah.
At the shoreline. At the shoreline.
This hearing your guys' timeline to me is so crazy. 2010, I started high school. Like that's cool.
2010, I was 10.
Like, dude, that's crazy.
I was at my first rave at 7 years old.
Yeah.
Did you really?
I was a barn rave in Texas, in like the middle of fucking nowhere.
That's amazing.
And I heard Darude, I heard Sandstorm, and I was like,
I love Sandstorm,
holy
dude.
shit.
I've said this before in this on the podcast, but like there was like a yellow like CD that my mom had that had like 24 random fucking like big room big room songs, and I was like, oh my god, like what is this? Outside of listening to like La Banda Recodo, fucking Los Alacranes, and all these other fucking like fucking like Mexican music, right? And like like I was telling you guys earlier, like my first concert was like a Pancho Barraza concert, it was a Pancho Barraza, and then my next one was like Vicente Fernandez, and then my next one was fucking Schoolboy Q. And, like,
your first concert. What was your first concert?
Yeah, what was yours?
Let me see. I don't remember. What was it? It was Coachella.
Yeah?
I talked about it.
Yeah.
Who was the first artist that you saw?
Let me see.
But you didn't ever go to like a county fair or like something like that?
No. When I went to Coachella, I was a sophomore in high school. That was like the first.
Oh, that makes sense. Actually. That makes sense.
I went. I was
yeah.
I'm going to Coachella. No,
and like to you, it wasn't even like the artist; it was the fact that you were going to Coachella.
Exactly. Yeah. But then after, like over time, and then you understand what you like, who you want to see. You're like,
oh shit.
Yeah,
see that person. That's cool. You feel like. And then
it's even cooler than I thought it was.
I feel that, and I kind of understand like your kind of like outlook on things, being that like. I mean, I'm not to say that you're like a newbie, but like you're newish to the scene, right? Yeah. Doing things and like putting your name out there, especially in the last year.
Yeah.
So like it makes sense why you're like, my first thing was Coachella, where there's like thousands of people looking at one person. You're like, 1,000 people can look at me. Mm-hmm. Can't, not should, but can. Mm-hmm. And I understand that mentality the same way that like mine was Pancho Barraza, was fucking Vicente Fernandez, was fucking or Schoolboy Q, and it was like these big fucking rooms of people like chanting and singing and dancing and like enjoying this one thing. Yeah, it's like, it's weird. Like
but I mean, like it builds a dream. You're like,
for sure.
Yeah. Very inspiring.
It's the building blocks. It's the building block.
Yeah. You see this artist that you listen to on your iPod, or you hear playing on the radio, and you see their art come to life, and they typically do a different way, but and everybody just unifies over it and just like singing together. Like, I don't know if you're a part of the emo phase and all that stuff. So we go to see like Hello Goodbye. We go see like Taking Back Sunday, and that alone, like having that band come and see them that we listen to and that we love. We saw Blink 182 yesterday. Thursday. And man, like everybody unifying, going crazy over the songs that we just listened to. It just brings us together. It feels good. Yeah. Bring back nostalgia too, and that also feels good. So
it would feel good to make people feel that way.
Yeah.
To make that kind of music and make them feel that way.
Right.
Oh
you also get kind of starstruck with it because maybe you'll go see like a huge person. Like my first concert was Ricky Martin, and I was like 5 or something.
Are you
like
gonna
that.
go to the Ricky and Pitbull?
I don't think so, but that looks fucking fun. I swear.
Dude, honestly, Ricky Martin and Ricky, what's his face?
No,
Another one?
Pitbull, Ricky Martin, and there's a third guy too.
It's another Ricky.
Enrique.
Enrique. Oh yeah, Enrique.
Iglesias.
Yeah. Dude, that's gonna
go
be crazy.
Yeah,
that's gonna
go
be
off over
insane.
there.
Shout out fucking Shoreline for throwing it down.
Always. Shoreline is.
Also, like 2 years ago, it was like Pitbull and like a couple other like reggaeton artists
man.
who pulled up to Shoreline, and I love going to Shoreline because I've seen country artists, like I've seen like Tim McGraw and like blah 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 and Blake Shelton, you know, and like I've seen those artists, and it's cool. Like you just throw on a flannel, sneak into fucking Jack-Daniels, and you're set. You know, sloppy Shoreline is a real thing.
I love
do that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
Dude, I love Shoreline. The lawn is full of degenerates who
The
are
lawn
just
is
like
lit.
yeah. It's crazy. But I've also gone to like Rock the Bells, which is like,
Oh, dude, I wanted to go so bad.
I've seen holograms, you know, like of Eazy-E and of ODB, you know,
That's
like that's
crazy.
insane. I honestly don't really remember the ODB one. Faded.
You
Pero
say,
like,
Honestly.
pero like I was there. I swear to God.
you say Shoreline.
I've seen photos. I took photos and like literally like the hologram might as well have been from like the 80s. Like dude, like capturing it from my fucking like iPhone 5 or whatever.
Look like a 50s TV or something.
It's like 100 millipec. Like it's just horrible. But no, yeah, it's dude, it's so interesting to see like the different dynamics as to like how everyone grew up. We're all like relatively close.
Yeah, man.
Because even Matt, like you've mentioned how your first concert. What was your first concert again?
It was like a really heavy concert, like the heavy metal concert. It was like
yeah.
Love that
System of a
shit.
Down, Rammstein,
Yeah.
Slipknot.
Hey,
And like I
that.
really wasn't into that like
I
heavy
do
at
that
the
shit.
time. I was more emo music. I like that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
dude.
But
You
I
go to
just
emo
went.
night? You go to emo night?
I haven't went to a lot. My brother goes all the time, but I've
It's
gone,
great,
I haven't
but-
gone in a while, but I still like, mess with it. I think the last time I went there, I saw Hawthorne Heights.
Oh.
Yeah.
They were there at the Ritz.
Yeah, dude, the Ritz there was like really good.
Yeah, it was
shows.
pretty dope.
Yeah, I like the heavy metal. I've seen like Slayer a few times.
Yeah.
Like,
I've,
that's fucking crazy. He
I
went
love
to
I love to go in the
blood
mosh
that's not
pit.
his on it.
Yeah,
Like, look, I'm wearing a
I know. That's why I saw your shirt.
Story
I was
So
like, I
Far
knew it
shirt,
right away. I was like,
this is like, so it's like
They're
one of my favorite
fun.
bands. Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
They're dope.
So it's like Linkin Park's like my favorite band, like
yes,
personal.
I've seen them so many times.
I've seen it 5 times.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
my God. Oh my God. I was also like maybe like 9 when I went to go see him for the first time. And that was like when Meteora came out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
I think I
oh
went
my
to that.
God. It's like goosebumps when I talk about it because like that's like my favorite
Yeah.
band. Every time I go see them, I'm like always like into it and just like, I don't know. When you see a band where you know like 2 or 3 albums worth of songs, like it's just like goosebumps and like you're just
Everywhere.
singing, you're rocking, you don't give a shit, man. It's like amazing when you get that feeling seeing like your favorite artist and everything like that. So
Yes.
I love it. I love it. It's great. I remember we saw Avicii. That was like
Yeah, that was sick,
Dude,
dude.
what?
That's our thing. We go.
we
see
love shows, man.
concerts.
See people
We
who
love
already
to go-
died.
Dude, he was magical. He played, oh my
Linkin
God.
Park, shout out Chester.
Chester, Avicii.
I know.
Shout out
Oh
to
my
Avicii.
God. We saw, what is that song, Satisfaction?
Oh, Benny Benassi?
No.
No.
I'm not going to know. I'm not going to remember.
Are you talking about the guy that the Firestarter? That one
Yes,
group?
that one.
The Prodigy?
The
We saw the
Prodigy.
Prodigy
We saw the
open up for
Prodigy,
Linkin
too.
Park.
that guy? I don't
The
forget.
Prodigy or Prodigy?
Yeah, it's like
Prodigy.
smack my bitch up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do need to point out, he's talking about like his favorite band and stuff, and then you know how I'm talking about Coachella. I saw as a little kid how that person can make people feel. He's pointing out like that band made him
Goosebumps.
feel like that. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
it would be cool to one day make
that
someone
person.
Yeah.
like even one
Yeah.
person. I know
Yeah.
there's millions out there. Feel one person feel like that.
Yeah.
Damn, that's special. I'm-
Yeah.
I feel like as a kid, right? Like as a kid, it's probably you're like I wouldn't say like high school is like you're a child, right? But like if you're 9 years old seeing some shit, like my
Yeah.
first time seeing anything that massive at the Cow Palace,
Yeah.
right, was when I was 3. You know, I was 3. I fucking took photos. I did everything. You know, I experienced what like these shows are supposed to be, and like that. It left an imprint the same way as 9, but it's different from when you're in high school where you kind of developed your own like. You know, like you're at that age where you're like not selfish, but you're thinking about like what's next for you.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean you're selfish, but it's that time period. Yeah. Which why like when I went to like BFD, when I went to and I snuck in BFD. And when I snuck into Identity, right? I was like
that was like fun.
I was like 15, 16, you know, and I was like, oh shit, like all it really takes is a USB. That's all it takes, and you can do all this shit. I mean, there's other things involved, right? There's other people, there's other things, you know, obviously. Yeah. But in my like dumb head, all I see is you and the pretty lights. Yeah. You know, like, and that's it. You know, and like it's a different imprint. They're still, you know, imprinted in my mind as to like how the steps are.
You're thinking of that, and I'm over here in the concert, like, oh my god, look at the way they have the mist going over here, and then like
you see the production of it.
Yeah.
That was me when I went to go see Kanye for the Yeezus tour. He had a mountain. He had like Yetis and dancers, and like that was when he did. What's that one song? Fucking Runaway, where it's just like ding, ding, and he did that and walked away for like 30 seconds.
And the crowd was
came
going
back,
nuts
hit one note, and I was like, dude, one note fucking had like 16,000 people like on the edge of their seat.
And that's what we call genius.
One note. And all he was doing was hitting one note and also wearing a mask. Yeah. That's when he was doing that. When he was wearing a mask, and his mentality was, well, if one note can do this one thing, then I want everyone who's taking a photo of me to see the same thing. So if like my face is gonna look different from this angle, so I'm just gonna wear a mask that encompasses everything. And when I heard that, I was like, this guy's a genius. Like, you know, you know, like, I mean, outside of all this other shit that he's been saying, but like,
that's some bull.
But he
musically, it's like crazy.
But it's that 360 mentality of everything. You know, it's that whole like, oh, I'm not just a DJ. I'm not just a producer. I'm not just a podcaster. I'm not just a photographer. I'm not just the girlfriend. I'm not just the editor. Like, it's like, dude, it's so much more, you know? Like, it's the whole thing of like, of the 360 mentality, which not everyone sees, you know? Some people just have that 180, which is just left and right, you know? But you don't know what the fuck's behind you. If you don't know what's behind you, then you don't know what's chasing you. And that's the reality of like life, you know, like for real, like, and that's and this is just drunk me, but but it's, you know, it's getting late. I love you guys. Pero like, do you guys want to share your guys' Instagrams? Do you guys want to share your guys'
let's go down the line. Inas.
I am Inas. I am Inas, like how you say IDNAS. I said it before here. Thank you for having me again. I love you, dude. You're hella cool. He is a beast DJ. I promise
that was
you.
Crazy set.
I'm not saying
it was tight. I mean,
I promise you. He knows I'm quiet. You guys know I'm quiet, and I promise you, I wouldn't say it. He's good.
Shout out Napas. But no, dude, thanks for having me out. It was so much fun. Like, it was fun. I pretty much played the first 30 minutes of my mix from your shit.
I noticed some of the songs, like, that's his mix right there.
Like,
but, hey, to see it live?
You know, to see it. And it was just like, you know, it was fun. I had a curveball thrown at me. But, you know, it was a good time. Dude, like, literally, like, it was, like I said, it was so much fun seeing all the, like all our brown friends together, you know, in a historically brown place. You know what I mean? Dude. Yeah. So like that was like really fun to see. Like, I don't know. It's
Cesar
like
Chavez would be proud.
Yeah, for real. You know, like it was crazy. But Jacob, do you want to give out your?
My Instagram is _JCB Music MUSIC. It's pronounced Jacob, but people call me JCB. I don't mind that at all. It's pronounced Jacob, but
I'm sorry.
It is.
We love it.
I totally get it because it's just 3 syllables, like GDP. Like, it's like that, but it's kind of like that minimal. It's that minimal kind of thing that I was going for, kind of, and that's kind of how
Kind
of how I am. I don't
honestly
dress
like people
not
call me
flashy or anything.
People call me Daniel, George, and Danny. I'm like, as long as you call me, as long as you're looking at me, I know you're talking to me, right? So okay, like, whatever the
What
fuck,
do you
know?
like though? What would you
Yeah,
prefer?
what do you prefer?
Honestly, it depends on the level that I care about you. Sorry, people. So just call me what you think that you should call me.
Okay.
And that's okay with me.
We'll find out one day.
Yeah. I mean, Oh, you'll know. But yeah, do you want to shout out your Instagram?
Sure. It's Ashely. That's me with 3 E's. People will know what that's from.
Yeah.
Amanda Show. I love that shit.
I know. 90s kid. Come on.
Yeah. Dude, Dancing Lobsters, let's go. No, you just had to be there, But, any content that you want to see from us, you guys can now go on TikTok and go at George.Daniel.pod. You can go on our Instagram at George.Daniel pod. I think is still the same thing. And then you guys can see where I'm gonna be playing at. I don't have any shows next month, unless what happened earlier this month happens next month. So you guys can see that at George.Daniel __ all of Meraki content at Meraki.events in the Bay Area, and then all of our SAC events, which we had a lot of gay events this weekend, which was really cool because it's Pride Month. So shout out them for doing everything. Shout out Mari-san for holding it down for the unofficial Dyke Marathon, which is her title. I just want that to be very, very clear. So shout out her. And yeah, you guys can see all the SAC events at MerakiEvents.sac. Matt, anything you want to leave off with?
No, I think I'm chilling right now.
Yeah.
Disposable series will be out soon. Sorry guys for the lag. I freaking.
Yeah, I almost even forgot that
stuff.
I even recorded that one.
But yeah, we'll do that one soon.
Yeah, that's gonna be like a 8-minute series type shit, where I just talk about all the disposable series that I've been doing, which has been really fun. Just doing that and having a different perspective on these event things, right? Seeing it through your lens.
Yeah.
No
But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Just remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out Liquid Death. Lance, I need a new care package ASAP. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I love you guys and peace.
Bye.